Hello, October 1st. And to do a team call on a Tuesday of the first day of the month. That felt a little bit rushed, but it's actually kind of good. We can start off the month immediately, right? And so today we're going to go through, mute some people. We are going to go through the incentives and what October is offering. And then we have a couple more things lined up. Between me and Sheila, we had to scramble a little bit today, but we've got some good stuff coming. I'm really excited. So Sheila, take us away with the incentives.
Okay, October incentives. Oh man, I love October. I feel like October is just kind of a little bit of a teaser Christmas.
Hmm.
That's what it feels like. We're almost there. It's almost Christmas time. Some people are gonna be like, slow down. So for in the US, new VIPs get a free bag of the spiced pumpkin lean when they order 100 PV or more. So that one is just a US one. Canada may or may not be getting some different incentives in the near future, but that's not confirmed. And also the give 10 and give CA for $10 off or $13 Canadian is still on for new VIPs. And save CA and save 10, so save CA for Canada, save 10 for US is also still on. And that is for customers who haven't ordered within a calendar month. So like it would be, they haven't ordered since the end of August would be the last time. And then they get to use this code for $10 off or 13.15 Canadian off of 50 PV or more order. So sweet deal. We have Christmas cash in October. I'm not wrong about the whole Christmas thing. Like Costco is decked out in Christmas. People are already thinking about it. People are also already thinking about, okay, how much money do I need to set aside so I can buy Christmas for my kids? These thoughts are going through people's heads already. So Christmas cash in October, refer for, get $200 extra US. This is on top of everything else already. So an extra $200 when you refer four. Refer eight, an extra $400. So that's crazy. That's a lot of money. And that pays for Christmas for a lot of people. So Christmas cash in October. We still have Rising Leaders Retreat going on. A lot of people have earned it already, which is amazing. And there are so many more spots, like so much space for all of us and so much time. We have until the end of December. We have another 3 full months. And so now's the time to map out what that's going to look for you. Go to the convention leaders retreat contest. Whew, I'm way ahead of myself. Go to the leaders retreat contest, break it down, how many credits you need, how much each one is for how much you like sponsoring a person. Figure out what you need and then run for it because you can do it. You can do it. And I think that's it for today.
Awesome. Okay. So we're looking at October and we're wanting to implement a couple of things because guess what? We're in the last quarter of the year, like last 90 days. And I just feel like, how do we always get here so fast? But it's so important for us to be intentional, right? If we don't put something into place and be intentional, sorry, I'm watching my dog because he's being really bad. The days are just going to go away. One day melts into the other, and you just react to what's happening in your life instead of responding. And if there's anything that I have learned in this business, it is when you react, you are drawn away by every distraction that happens in your life. Distractions are going to cost you your success. It's not all the things that you think that it might be, right? It is going to be the distractions that happen in your life. And so we're looking at doing a 90-day challenge, just basically the last 90 days. And each day is going to be posted in the team page. And every day is going to have a call to action, something that you yourself can take in and put into yourself because this is on you. This is you growing, right? And so a couple things that I wrote down on that note, as I was thinking about this, is basically my biggest wish is for you guys to be a finisher. Because the hard truth is, we're all expert starters, right? And we hear something that's fun and we have a goal that we want to accomplish and we jump in because it's exciting. And then what? Life happens, distractions, right? I mean, like, let's be real. There's some of us on this page that, you know, it thought it sounded good to go on a cruise, but possibly already tapped out mid-September. Sometimes we do that. And it's that lack of intention that you have committed to, right? And so you can read the post, but if you're not fully showing up for yourself, this has to be something for you. It's not me and Sheila, the jewels of abundant wellness, doing something and you're going to go read it and it's just going to happen. This is something you have to take into yourself and decide if you want to do it or not, right? And why? There's so many reasons why. There is so many reasons why. You're going to be so proud of yourself when you are a finisher, when you actually commit and put in the work, right? And so sometimes we tend to quit because, well, maybe you didn't do one of the prep posts, maybe you didn't watch a video, maybe it all sounds great, but you don't really want to do the work because it makes you feel uncomfortable, right? And you've already decided that you're probably not going to make that cruise anyhow. And so, yeah, why even bother, right? Because I can't do it as well as what those other girls can. And so, yeah, I'm just going to, you know, it's not easy for me. It's way harder for me. We say all these things to ourselves, guys. I'm not criticizing you at all. I'm saying these are the things that go through our minds. And I just want to tell you, I struggle with those thoughts all the time. I always have to commit to speaking life over the things that I want to achieve, right? And so stop quitting on your goals. Let's be finishers, right? We can be expert starters, but let's be finishers. And the last 90 days is going to give you the steps every day, one step. If you do one step every day, you are going to get to the end, right? And so even if your dreams don't look perfect, even if, you know, okay, it's never going to be perfect. You're going to see other people's lives and you are only seeing a pinpoint of what their life actually looks like. And to you, it may look a lot easier than yours, right? And to you, it may look like, well, she doesn't have this and she doesn't need to do all these things that I have to do at home. And yes, she does. She actually does. She has her own hard. We all have our own hard. And that's not your hard that she has, but she has her own hard. And you are responsible only for your own hard. And without hard, it's not going to happen. And I'm sorry to tell you that, friend, but to do growth, even a butterfly has to work so hard to get out of that cocoon to actually become a butterfly. It doesn't happen by itself. It has to work to get out of there, right? And so today, accountability is key. That is number one. I love personal accountability. I love when someone is holding me accountable because I know I'm going to show up better. I will definitely show up better when I know that there's people waiting for me. And I know that I'm going to show up better when I have promised that I would, right? It's like buying that gym membership and you're like, crap, I'm going to have to go because I paid for the thing and I don't want to waste money, right? You hold that piece over yourself and you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to go. Once you're there, it's not hard. It's most times getting yourself there, right? But the other piece of this is also you are worthy of your goals. And I want you to really, really soak that in. If whatever your goal is, if you're wanting that next rank, if you're wanting to make a few $1,000s a month to take that stress off of your husband, if you want to go all in and you see the growth as super intimidating, whatever it is, you are worthy of that. And I think when you take that next step, it feels like jumping over a chasm. But when you take that next step to say, look, I'm going to do it. and I'm going to stop quitting on myself, and I'm going to be a finisher, and I'm going to do this 90 days. I'm going to do every day, and I'm going to see where it's going to take me. Because if I commit to myself and if I promise to myself, I have to keep my word to myself. Do you know that the easiest person to quit on is yourself? And do you know that the consequences of quitting on yourself are the biggest? Other people don't care if you quit. Even your upline, usually that isn't, she's not going to cry and make a big deal over the fact if you're quitting. She really won't, but you might. So be committed to yourself. I really, really wanted to reiterate that today because this year is almost to an end. And you know what, guys? 2024 wasn't quite what we had expected. Let's just be honest, right? And I'm tired of using my own excuses. I feel like I want to put myself somewhere. And in fact, tonight, I'm a little bit shaking in my shoes, but I'm getting some personal coaching and I'm paying for it. And I'm not in a place of where I feel confident that this is where I should be. I'm going in really nervous and scared, and I'm sitting at a table where I am not comfortable. And I just wanted to tell you that because if I'm not going to do it, how can I ask you guys to do that? Right? I have to be willing to do that for myself in order to ask you guys to do that for yourself as well. And so I don't want to use excuses. I want to push myself forward and really, really level up for the end of this year. And I know without a doubt that a lot of you are going to be there and committed and doing amazing. And so our support system matters, our goals and dreams matter, our future matters. Truly, truly matters. And what we do with it and how we set our mindset in place with it is what's going to change it. So if you're ready to dive in, watch for a post. We have to get some stuff ready. We're a little bit behind the ball, but we're going to catch up. It'll be okay. We can do, we should have done a prep post before it was actually October, but here we are. And so that's okay. That's okay. We can do that. Okay. I just realized that I went ahead of Sheila and I was going to let her talk first. Here we are.
I was sitting here the whole time thinking, yeah, she's doing the end before the beginning, but that's okay.
It was in my heart, and I feel like I needed to tell you guys that. So
It's fine because it turned out perfect. We had a mishap here I had to deal with anyway, so it worked out well.
okay, you guys are going to be in for a treat because Sheila's going to be sharing about Ben Nempton.
Nempton.
I have a hard time saying his last name. He was in Maui with us. Just a super interesting guy. And I want to look up that movie that they made. So she's going to share on that.
I saw Paige nodding her head. Do you know who he is? Yeah. I was like, I had never heard of him before until he went on stage. And I was like, who is this dude? Like, who is this even? So Ben Nempton has a really, really cool story. He looks really young, but I think he's like in his mid 40s. Him and a bunch of three other buddies in college decided they were going to create a bucket list of 100 items. And there's more behind this story. And they do have a movie coming out of the whole entire story, and I so want to watch it because it's really cool. They were going to create a bucket list of 100 items. And every time they achieved a bucket list item, they had to help somebody else achieve their bucket list item. So it started with they were just a couple buddies. They were going to take off 3 weeks one summer, I think. They bought a rickety old motorhome and went across country to hit off some of the list things on their bucket list. And like they did not pick like little things, okay? So he said the two top rules on your bucket list are pretend you have $100 million and two, think you can do anything. There's no limits, none at all. So they had things on their bucket list like play basketball with Barack Obama, go to the moon, make a toast at a stranger's wedding. Like, guys, they had legit crazy things on their bucket list. that they were like check marking off, like one at a time. And before he really started diving into the bucket list, he said a few things that were like, oh, most of you know that when we right before we ended up in Maui, we had a really hard family tragedy that happened. And so we were dealing with a lot of grief and pain over death. And we're sitting down in the first session in Maui, and the first session is talking about what do you want to do before you die? I was like, there is no such thing as coincidence. There is no such thing as coincidence. When somebody we care about in our life passes away, we then are constantly evaluating our lives. We're constantly confronted with our mortality. And then it's here again. I was like, okay, I'm listening. What's going on here? What do I need to learn here? Because I felt like it was being just put right in my face, you know? So this whole project of theirs started when these friends wanted to get together and they said, hey, let's make a movie. And they figured this movie would take them 3 weeks to make. That's what they figured. And they're like, well, what are we going to make a movie about? They had no idea what they were going to make a movie about. Well, one of the buddies was in a poetry class in college. And the one poem was called The Buried Life by Matthew Arnold. And there's one line in the poem that had stood out to them. And that one line was, after the knowledge, there rises an unspeakable desire after the knowledge of our buried life. And they were like, okay, we're going to call it Our Buried Life. And that's how they decided. They were going to go across country, helping other people achieve their bucket list dreams while achieving theirs because they were tired of just living in the day in and day out, dealing with depression, dealing with life stresses. What was stopping them from achieving all the things they had always dreamed of, even if they were exorbitantly crazy, like things you would never ever think would be possible? And they're like, what's stopping us? So they came up with the tour rules. We have to pretend we have $100 million. They did not have $100 million. They had a very clunkety motorhome, and think you can do anything. I wish I had printed off a list of their 100 things because honestly, some of them were so crazy. So every time they crossed something off their list, they had to help a stranger. And the stories they came across, the people's lives they touched. They met with one woman, um, who they almost didn't even want to ask her the question, what do you want to do before you die? Because she already knew that she was dying. She was at the end of her life battling terminal cancer. And so they had gone over it. She had taken them into their home. She had posted, this is like a little ways in the day, they had blogs and stuff, and it's a little bit different than now, where Facebook and Instagram keeps us all so very connected. But she had commented on one of their blog posts saying, hey, if you're ever in the area, come over, I'll make you a home cooked meal. They came over, found out that she actually is battling cancer. And so they didn't even really want to ask her what she wanted to do before she died. But they did. And she said, guys, I have lived a full, incredible life. But if you can go out there and make an impact on kids' lives who are battling cancer and have not lived a full and beautiful life, that's my goal. And so they did. With the help of so many other people, they ended up having a huge shopping spree for a ton of kids battling cancer. And they honestly, over and over and over, the stories just kept rolling in. These guys have now had kept doing this next year and the next year. And they had to either decide, okay, am I going to go to college or am I going to go all in with this? Ben's dad had sat him down one summer after he came back, and he's like, it's all really nice and fine and dandy, but you know what would be nice too? If you got a job. And in that moment, he knew, okay, I have a decision to make. I can't keep walking the fence. Either I'm all in or I'm all out. And from that moment, they were all in. They stopped everything they were doing and they went all in. Full time, completely on faith, believing that they could do impossible things while helping people. And it is amazing the things that they achieved. Like truly, we got to see a trailer for the movie that's coming out. The trailer's not released yet. Otherwise, I'd show it to you guys. I would. The two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. And we may never fully know why, but when you get to pursue your purpose, it brings us, like, it brings life. It brings you so much energy. When people are out there living a life with no purpose, they wake up and they go about their every day doing the same thing without knowing that, hey, I'm making a difference, I'm making an impact. It makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. I think of the elderly. When they have a purpose in their life, it keeps them young. It drives them to wake up in the morning. We're the same way. We are the same way. If we wake up with a purpose in the morning, it keeps us young. It keeps us thriving because we know that we are pushing towards something to pursue something. So, with this, I've been thinking about this a lot. What is my bucket list? What do I want to do? Like, if I'm going to sit down and write 100 things, I mean, I had a hard time writing like a handful of things. Am I actually really dreaming big, or am I holding myself back? Do I actually believe in the possible impossible, or am I only living within what I think I am capable of? I know my God is so much bigger than that. I know that I can do so much more than that. I know my impact can be so much bigger than that. I know it, but do I know it? Do you know what I mean? Like, do I really, really know it? So this list isn't like they said at the end, the list isn't about crossing off 100 things or achieving all of the things. It's about trying, about being willing to try. Like mom said, they watched a baby being born. They had met the lady 24 hours before on Craigslist, of all places. And she said, yeah, you can come and deliver my baby. That was one of their bucket list items, was to deliver a baby. And the picture, the guy in the back, he just looks shell-shocked, like best birth control he's ever had. Oh my goodness. The things they did. Crazy, crazy stuff. But they believed in the impossible. And it doesn't have to be like that for us. It doesn't. But what if we all really believed in the impossible, that we could do big things, like crazy things, that we could be a Celeste Gwen and fully fund a village in Africa, build churches and orphanages and truly impact the world? Like, what if, like, just think about it a little bit, you know? And so, with that, we were talking about dreaming big, thinking big. That guides us into the next 90 days. Have you all seen The Notebook? It's like one of my favorite movies. I love The Notebook. You know that scene where he says, "What do you want?" Do you know that scene? I see that. Okay, I'm gonna show you that scene because it's not as impactful if I don't show you the scene. Just a second, because this is my favorite. This was supposed to be faster than this, but it's not. Sorry, guys.
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What
It's...
do you want? God damn it. What do you want?
I have to go.
What do you
What do you want? It is that simple. I mean, and we women, we always make things complicated, okay? The men will all agree. They'll be like, just tell me what you want. Well, we stop and we think about how this is going to impact everybody else in our lives. No, but what do you want? What do you really want? And then write that down. And then have that drive you. These next 90 days, I think that we should all be sitting down and writing, making out our bucket lists, making a bucket list and totally focusing on, okay, well, what do I really want? What do I believe? Even if I don't believe, what if I even put down things that I don't believe that I'm capable of, but I put them down in faith because push myself. And that would be me. That would 100% be me. So as you're making a bucket list, take some time to write a list. I think we should all do this. I know I'm going to. Share your list with somebody because sharing that list keeps you accountable. Don't give up. Be unstoppable. They decided that they were going to play basketball with Barack Obama. Technically wouldn't be one of my bucket list items, but cool for them. And they had to fight for that one, like for months. They called every, like, I don't know all of the US politics. I haven't dug that far into the homeschooling black hole, but they called all of the people that they could call to find connectors, to find, in the end, after months, they ended up in the White House, but Barack Obama wasn't there. He wasn't there. They ended up on his basketball court, dribbling his basketballs in suits that they had rented from what was it, like a bridal store or something? Like little bow ties, like they had rented their suits because they figured, oh, I don't know, what am I supposed to wear to the White House? And they're just filming, being silly. Hey, we made it this far. Didn't quite make this bucket list, but we made it this far. And just like that, Obama walks onto the court and plays basketball with them. Don't give up. You never know how something could turn out. We never know. Even when we think something isn't going our way and isn't going for us, the Bible tells us that God works everything together for good, even if it doesn't make sense to us, even if none of it adds up or lines up. Don't give up. Be gritty, be determined, be brave. The fear of what people think or feel of failure is normally what holds people back. At the end of the day, how long do people think about us? I know if I think about somebody, it's for maybe 2 seconds, then I'm on to my own problems or my own to-do list or my own things that I'm thinking about. And it still gets me, but it's taken a long time to be like, their 2 seconds are not going to make my decisions. Those 2 seconds that they think about me are not going to make my decisions. And then give. The last one is to give. Because when we give, that is when we are blessed in return. And don't give to be blessed, but give because of the blessing that you get just by giving. You will feel so much more fulfilled when you live with your hands open. And that doesn't have to be just financial. That is your energy, your emotional capacity, your love. Just give willingly. So when you are achieving your dreams, you help other people achieve their dreams. So in these last 90 days, as we are pushing towards the end of this year, the end of 2024, it may not have been what we all hoped and dreamed could be, but we still have 90 days to turn that around. We still have so much time. Your body completely regenerates cells every 90 days. If your body can do that, what else can you do? A whole lot of stuff. A lot. And it just starts with taking one step at a time, one day at a time, deciding that you're going to do it. Putting your dreams in front of you and making that your focus. So I asked in my chat today, some of you shared, I didn't give you much time, what your bucket list items are. And I'd love for you all, put some bucket list items in the chat. Like, let's drop some items. And I've been thinking about this more and more all day. I was like, oh, once upon a time, when I was living in Edmonton, I did a diaper drive for the mustard seed. And I enjoyed it so much. Like all of a sudden one day I was cleaning out my closet and my baby wasn't using diapers anymore. And I thought I had a whole box of unused diapers. And I thought, I don't need these, but what am I going to do with them? And I thought, how many moms out there that don't have diapers? And so I decided to make a post about it, and it went crazy. Went all over the place. Ended up on, I think it was CTV or something, I don't know. And we ended up bringing in tons of diapers for the mustard seed, which is which is part of like the homeless, helping the homeless in Edmonton. And they told me that very often the only amount of diapers that they have is enough to give maybe a mom one per day. One. One. I mean, we all have had babies here. There's a lot of babies on here right now. I would love to be able to do more things like that. That's bucket list for me. To go to places like the Mustard Seed and be drop like a whole chunk of money and say, go buy enough diapers, go buy enough formula, go buy enough whatever it is that all the babies in Edmonton need for the moms that are maybe have left abuse, whatever it is, like those are bucket list things. That's what I like. And it doesn't have to be that huge. It can be small too. Like have big ones, have small ones, have ones like I want to be able to walk into a restaurant and spot a table and pay for their entire meal. I want to be able to, every time I go to Starbucks, pay for the vehicle behind me as well. Those can be bucket list items too. I want whatever it may be. And I know Paige said she wants to do that 70-day long cruise. And I'm assuming you're going to want to take your kids with if it's 70 days. Yeah, probably. Oh, and Lena, am with you on this one. She said she wanted to take a summer or a year and travel, homeschool all over the US and Canada and RV. This is one of me and Kev's bucket lists. We want to do that. We have full intentions of crossing that off our bucket list. To road school, to go all over the place. So I'd love to hear some of your bucket list items. Shelly wants to go skydiving. I will let you do that alone. You couldn't convince me to do that one with you. And if anybody wants to unmute and share theirs, I'd love to hear them. Let's dream big.
So I actually have a physical one I started, and I just went to look for it, and I have no idea where it is. But I started it when I was about 20. And the thing I love about it is by now there's probably 50, 60 things on it. Every couple of years I pull it out and I laugh at what's on it and I add to it. And I would really encourage you guys to do this because I have some really, like, I just remember one when we were first married, I wanted to host a giant Christmas dinner with my family and my husband's family, which for anyone that knows anything, that would have been a gong show and big family and like lots of dynamics. And at the time we lived in this teeny tiny house, but I didn't care. Right. And I have selfish things like skydiving and going down a black diamond run. And then I went down a black diamond run, but it was on my butt. So I had to add on my skis because it didn't go well. And I'm just, praise God, I'm alive. So, but it's really neat to go back and see how you change and how you evolve and how you grow over time and the things that you're like, icks, I would never do that. And you're like, yes, things I still really want to do. Right. So like I would find a special notebook. I have this cute heart notebook. I'll find it somewhere, but I would encourage you actually to start that. And if you can't think of 100 things, just write down like 5 and add to it every year. It's so much fun to do, you guys. It's just like the best thing.
Like, I could not love that more. That is absolutely brilliant, and I am so doing that. And Kevin could really relate to you on the whole Black Diamond thing. He did the same thing. Yeah, his first time. So adding on my snowboard on his bucket.
But hold the boat there because Kevin took us on the Black Diamond when his mother-in-law did not want to be. She wanted to be on the green. So there's that. I crossed that off on skis.
Oh. Oh, Anna, we would love it if you would come here, all the way up here. We need to have like a huge Plexus family reunion. Although we will all be coming to Texas next year, so
Yes. Yes.
we'll be
How
coming
fun
your
is
way. We can meet before
that?
you have to come to Canada. Brittany says, ride in a hot air balloon. Oh, yes, get you and your husband on a warm beach. See, you could do that really soon. The Bahamas is in February, so that one could be checked off really soon. Help out in an orphanage. I love those. Val, I want to be a public speaker one day to encourage people who struggle with low self-esteem. I love that. Just think of yourself on stage at Plexus, sharing at convention. Like, visualize that. Lena, I want helping somebody deliver a baby. Amazing. Seriously. Lynn, take my kids to Europe and show them where I was born and where I graduated high school. Okay, so cool. I did not know that's where you were from. So cool. Ah, okay. I love all of these. So very awesome. I've always wanted to, Stacy, I've always wanted to go snorkeling. Just got to convince my hubby that's it's as fun as they say it is. See, yeah, you'd have to convince me that too. So apparently the next time we're going to Maui, we're going to be going snorkeling in a volcano. And that one is going to be taking a little bit of encouragement on my part. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
These are so good. Like, I just want you guys to look at the comments and see how easily they pour from you. And then you're inspired by because someone else says something, and oh, I've done that and I've done that, right? And so adding to it, that's a really good one, Lynn. Setting up a trust fund for your kids' special needs hockey team, because that's a really big deal. So fun.
Oh, Paige, you would be so good at that. She wants to design and build her own home from the ground up. Oh my goodness. Paige is like the queen of do it yourself. That would literally be the most beautiful home ever. I love these. I love them so much because when we let I think very often kids are so good at dreaming. So good at dreaming. Like especially some personalities even better than others. My Sadie comes to me all the time and tells me about all her crazy dreams. And then somewhere along the line, reality hits and we become adults and we become maybe a little bit calloused and not so dreamy anymore. And we forget what it means to dream and that we can dream and that we can like do crazy things. Like we were not put on this earth just to be born, live, and then die. We were put on this earth to like thrive, to
I
do
love,
incredible things.
yes, I love Lena's comment. That's a big deal. Have a yes day with your children. I love that, because sometimes it feels like all you say is no, right?
Mhm.
Like all day you're going through the day and it's a no day, right?
Oh, I
These
love
are
that.
really good. And you can see that they come from all over. They don't have to be huge things that you first have to like potentially become a millionaire before you can do them. No, these guys made this list because there was things on that list that they could have easily done, but they challenged themselves to do it because there was a fear issue you first had to overcome. Horse ranch and do therapy riding. I'm always on that animal boat too, Lisa. Using animals for therapy is such a big deal. Really, really good. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Were you done, Sheila?
Okay, I just wanted to quickly mention a few of the
Yes.
items that they had. So they wanted to see the pyramids. So they wanted to be on Oprah and be interviewed by Oprah. They sang the national anthem to a packed stadium. They streaked on a field naked and get away with it. They did that one too. They did the countdown on New Year's Eve in Times Square. They taught an elementary class. They raced sailboats. They asked out the girl of their dreams, which looks to be Taylor Swift and Reba McEntire. They kissed the Stanley Cup. They rode a bull. Like the things they did, they led a parade. They had a beer with Prince Harry, or multiple beers with Prince Harry. Just like crazy. They had crazy ideas. And so thank you for sharing your bucket list items. Like this just has blessed me so much. And I hope that we all continue this and do exactly what Shelley said, because I think that something like this, just to do it and then look back on it every few years and add to it, how cool would that be?
It's better than a vision board. Better than a vision board, right? Because you can actually like add to it, change it, check off. Who doesn't like a list that you can check off, right? I make lists to check things off. It's so good. Okay, I'm not sure who you guys are talking about because I don't watch Heartland, so I don't know who Lou is. But in following up with what Sheila was sharing there, today I was thinking about I'm sure many of you have probably heard about Beachbody today going also to an affiliate model of selling their, yes, I know Shelly is like, boom, right? There's been multiple businesses that have folded and gone to an affiliate business. And if you don't know what this means, these are network marketing companies that were a previous multi-level marketing structure. And they had team builders just like we do. We build teams in Plexus. And now they have taken away all the teams. Everyone is just an affiliate. So all you do is sell their product, right? It's just product based. A lot of fear mongering goes on around this, and a lot of like, oh my goodness, are we going to be next? And the world of network marketing is coming to an end. And no, Chicken Little, the sky isn't falling. It's quite okay. Alec and Tarl and Jean have repeatedly assured us that we are private. We do not have debt. We make decisions for ourselves. We decide of what goes in Plexus. Let me quickly close my door. Just had someone show up. And so today, as I was thinking about that, I wanted to share a little bit on what I can see of something that is going to help you really alleviate some of those things of where you feel like, well, how can I build a business here? And what am I supposed to be focusing on? And how is this going to affect the market? Well, first of all, I think a lot of companies that were not prepared for what is happening in the world right now, and they have private investors they have to pay up, they don't have a choice. So they have to shut down and basically pay their investors. And so we're fine, guys. We're totally fine. But I do want to talk about this piece of our business. I want to talk about how much do we share this business opportunity? How many of our posts are actually inviting people to come and build this business with you? How are you going to invite people and come do this business with you? Your bucket list could be really, really interesting in using this opportunity to bring people in, to build together. Who are you taking with you to the top? You're going to need people to take to the top with you. You can't go there alone. And so who's coming with you, right? And so the other perspective of this side is often we love our products, and I'm 1,000% guilty of this because I came in for the products. I have a holistic background. It is so easy for me to talk about holistic products, to talk about how can I help you? And I'm very confident in that because I've seen years of what Plexus has done for people. And so nothing fizzes me, right? And I remember when it came to the business, that was harder. And I know this is the case for some of you as well. Sharing the business, you fall into a lot of the things that you're like, oh, but I haven't, accomplished enough yet. Oh, but I'm not a leader. Or how can I lead people? Like, I don't know what to do with a large team. All those fears start popping up. They're just regular fears. As long as we don't attach emotion to them and make them the center focus of what we're doing, then it's not going to drive you, right? You're just going to be like, oh yeah, but that's no big deal. I can do this. And so I quick want to share a couple of facts about network marketing. And you can use these to fuel your belief. And then you can go and make an excellent business post about what you're going to be doing in October and how you're going to be inviting other people to come with you, because this business is like no other. Okay, so here we go. More than $178 billion was made in direct sales in multi-level marketing. Get this, in 2014. So 10 years ago. What do you think that number is today? Is way, way bigger, way bigger. 800,000 Canadians are involved in network marketing, generating over $32.6 billion in sales in Canada. These stats are from 2018. 80% of women who make over $100,000 a year do it through network marketing and direct sales. And yes, I fall into that bracket very proudly because this is an amazing opportunity. I could never, ever have gone to do a job and be at home and live my life the way that I do had it not been for this opportunity, and you have the exact same opportunity for way more than $100,000. You can make way more than that. There are more than 2,000 network marketing companies, and Warren Buffett owns 3 of them. He's kind of a smart money guy. He's got some dollars, right? You can launch your own business for what? Seriously, $13.15. If we really, really take this piece seriously, so many companies have a huge buy-in. You have to buy a kit, you have to buy product, you have to buy stock, right? We don't have to do that here at Plexus. We just get to buy the membership and away we go. We get to share. Okay, and you are your own boss. That's kind of a good piece. That's really kind of a good piece. I normally don't consult with my boss if I want time off. This is the wonderful piece of what Plexus does. Your company does all the heavy lifting from product development, legal groundwork, customer service, data processing, banking, sales training, marketing, branding, website hosting, even social media. Have you guys seen April's social media for Plexus recently? It's just been so good. They do so much of the marketing for us already. All you get to do is attach yourself to who they already are and align yourself with them, right? You get to learn while you are creating an instant cash flow, even in your first month. And I think that's probably a piece that we often find harder to share. Some people find this harder to share, is you don't need to know everything. You just step out and start sharing, and you will learn as you go. What also is going to happen is you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay, because that's how we learn. That is how we learn, right? And you can build it part-time, you can build it full-time, you can build it to wherever you want to be. It doesn't have to be a set road, and there is no boss telling you when to be where and how much and how long. These choices are yours, right? Mostly, as long as you have Wi-Fi, and Starlink has been really good for us because we even take it down to the river. You can build this pretty much everywhere on the earth right now, right? Okay, so approximately about 20% of home-based entrepreneurs say that their businesses gross between $100,000 and $500,000 a year. Home-based entrepreneurs. And guess what? Do you think that they have the overhead and the cost of what the other home-based business would have if, say your husband was running a shop on your yard, or they were like buying equipment and doing construction jobs, or whatever, being a house builder? There's a lot of overhead on those businesses. We don't need to carry that piece. Plexus does that for us, right? The network marketing industry increases by more than 600,000 people each year. That's a lot of people. That's over 500,000 people. Home-based businesses report an 85% success rate compared to a 5% success rate for traditional small businesses like retail stores and restaurants. We all know how hard of a hit retail stores have taken since online shopping has gone viral over the world, right? You can buy something online and have it here like within days. And what happens to your little mom and pop shop at the corner store? Like, they've invested their whole life savings, but people want to sit on their couch and buy it from their phone. And that's, really hard on those small businesses. About 15.8 million people work from home full time. This number has probably doubled because these are pre-COVID stats. Imagine that. These are pre-COVID stats. Another 38 million, 12% of the population, work from home part-time. Network marketing is one of the fastest segments in the global economy. That is a really, really big deal. I remember when the first couple years that I started, Tennessee had like the area where Sonia Dudley, Amber Miller, Lori Welch, Kristen Abart, Jared Abart, all of the diamonds were popping up in Tennessee. They were all building teams there. Those 12 diamond teams increased the whole economy of Tennessee, like a whole state, because so much more money was brought into this state. That's what network marketing can do. Okay, I am super proud to be a piece of that, and I feel like there's room for so many more. And yeah, I can probably share the stats on that. Yeah, I should put that in the team page. That'd be really good. So I really want you to feel like that is belief building and that is something that is there for you too. And just, you know, put your blinders on when you watch these other companies crumble, because that's not who Plexus is. And people will always find things for fear mongering. It's just kind of how the world goes, right? There's so much fear mongering in politics right now, and it's like, if that's what we focus on, that's what's going to drive us. But if we focus on the good that we can do and how we can serve and love and help other people, that's what's going to drive us as well. And so use the cruise to fuel your energy and to use these stats as belief building behind your back. And I know that you can do that. All right, that is all I had for today. Thank you for being here. I want to check the comments a little bit because I didn't get to read that. Yes, I can share the stats. Yes, Sheila, I saw that, sweet Jolie. She's worked so hard for 13 years to keep a little retail business going. She finally ended up closing her doors because she just cannot cover cost of what they have increased. It's really, really hard. Yeah, Lynn talked a little bit about what Alec had said in Waterloo. They're always so open about where Plexus is financially, and it's so reassuring, right? Yeah, the big box stores take over the little ones. It's really hard to see. But you guys have an amazing opportunity, and so if you need inspiration to make business posts, call on your Plexus sisters to go comment and support and encourage each other. People see that. People see that you're excited for each other, right? All right. Thanks for being here, guys. Hope you have a wonderful night. Take care, and we're excited for October. Have a great night.